Every habit is a transaction. Every choice you make, every action you take, is either a deposit or a debit in your personal success ledger. The small, seemingly insignificant habits, waking up early, reading daily, exercising consistently, are the deposits that accumulate interest over time. Conversely, procrastination, distractions, and neglect are withdrawals that quietly erode your potential. The key is recognizing that your life is not shaped by one grand action, but by countless tiny transactions repeated every day. Consistency is the ultimate interest rate. Just like money in a bank, your habits grow over time, but only if you maintain consistency. A single deposit does little. It's the repeated daily actions, the consistent efforts that compound, that create true wealth in life. Success does not owe you an immediate reward, but your habits, like faithful deposits, pay dividends in ways you may not see today, but will absolutely notice tomorrow. The power of awareness and choice. The ledger doesn't lie. Your results are a reflection of your habits. Awareness is the first step in managing this personal ledger. When you start seeing each decision as a credit or debit, you gain power. The power to correct course, the power to invest wisely in yourself, and the power to change your destiny. Your future is written in the choices you make right now, and the habits you cultivate are the ink with which you write it. Every habit you cultivate in life is not just a simple routine. It is a transaction in your personal ledger of success. Picture your life as a giant, invisible bank account, and every action you take, every decision you make, is either a deposit or a debit. Some deposits are obvious, like finishing a project, helping someone, or learning a new skill, while others are subtle. A kind word, reading 10 pages of a book, a few minutes of focused meditation. You might think these are small, insignificant, even trivial moments, but they are the building blocks of your future. You see, success is rarely the result of one grand, heroic leap. It is the quiet, repeated decisions, the daily disciplines, the small but consistent deposits that build wealth, character, and influence over time. Consider the habit of waking up early. For some, it is a natural rhythm. For others, a battle against the comfort of their bed. Waking up early might seem like a small, almost negligible choice, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful deposits you can make. The extra hours in the morning are like untouched interest accruing in your success account. Those hours give you time to plan, to focus, to learn, to work on yourself when the world is quiet and distractions are minimal. Each morning that you rise with intention, you are making a conscious deposit toward your future, and the cumulative effect of these mornings compounds more than you can imagine. On the other hand, there are debits, the habits that quietly drain your potential. Procrastination is one of the deadliest withdrawals in your personal ledger. Putting off work, delaying decisions, or ignoring responsibilities might feel harmless in the moment, but these moments accumulate. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it later," you are withdrawing from your future success account. Watching hours of mindless entertainment, engaging in gossip, complaining, or succumbing to fear-based inaction are all withdrawals. They might seem small at the time, but when repeated day after day, they compound and quietly erode your progress, leaving you frustrated and wondering why success always seems out of reach. The beauty and the challenge of this habit ledger is that it never lies. Unlike people, circumstances, or luck, your habits are entirely within your control. Your ledger is an objective record of your actions. You can choose what to deposit and what to withdraw, But once the transaction is made, it cannot be erased. Imagine for a moment if you had a real ledger in front of you that tracked every single habit you performed over the past year. What would the balance show? Would it reflect growth, discipline, and progress, or would it reveal withdrawals and missed opportunities disguised as harmless choices? The power of awareness is profound because once you see the pattern, you can take control. Now, some habits are obvious in their value, and some are almost invisible. Drinking water, eating healthily, reading, practicing gratitude, journaling, exercising, being kind. These may not seem dramatic in isolation, but they are compounding deposits. Jim Rohn often said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." The word simple does not mean easy. It means that the habit itself is straightforward, but it requires consistency, commitment, and self-discipline. Each time you make the conscious choice to invest in yourself, you are increasing your balance in the account of your life. Over time, these deposits accumulate interest exponentially. One day, the results show up in ways that feel magical, though they are merely the inevitable consequence of your consistent actions. It is also important to realize that negative habits can be just as subtle. Checking social media mindlessly, being impatient, reacting with anger, or avoiding challenges may feel harmless, but they are silent withdrawals. Like tiny fees slowly eroding your account, these behaviors chip away at your potential, leaving you with less energy, fewer opportunities, and a diminished sense of accomplishment. The key is not to strive for perfection, but to cultivate awareness. If you notice a debit, you can counteract it with deposits. If you catch yourself procrastinating, choose to take one small action toward your goal. If you feel drained by negativity, inject a positive habit, a moment of learning, gratitude, or effort that offsets the withdrawal. Your life is ultimately the sum of these transactions. Success is not random. It is the cumulative effect of small, intentional habits consistently applied over time. The habit ledger does not cheat, it does not lie, and it does not make excuses. The balance you have today is the result of past deposits and withdrawals, and the balance you will have tomorrow depends on the choices you make right now. Every single action, no matter how small, carries weight. Every habit matters because the ledger is always recording, always accounting, always reflecting the truth of your decisions. So, take a moment to reflect on your own habit ledger. Are you making deposits that enrich your life, or are you allowing debits to silently erode your future? The choice is yours, but one thing is certain. Your habits will determine your results. They are the currency of success, the measure of your discipline, and the blueprint of your destiny. Each small, positive action is a deposit. Each negative or wasted action is a withdrawal. The secret is to be intentional with every transaction, knowing that over time, the compounding effect of your deposits will lead you to heights you may never have imagined. Consistency is the secret ingredient in the recipe for success. It is the invisible force that multiplies the value of every small action, turning ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. Imagine planting a seed in your garden. If you water it once and then forget about it, the seed may sprout briefly, but will wither. If you water it occasionally, it may survive, but it will struggle to grow. But if you water it every day, nurture it consistently, and give it the attention it needs, it will grow into a strong, flourishing tree. The same principle applies to life. Your habits, your actions, and your choices are the seeds. Consistency is the water, sunlight, and care that allow them to grow. Without it, potential remains dormant, opportunities fade, and dreams remain unfulfilled. Too often, people fall into the trap of expecting immediate results. They make a few grand efforts, then look for instant rewards, and when those rewards do not appear, they become frustrated and give up. But real success does not work that way. It is not earned in a single act or a sudden breakthrough. Success is earned in the quiet moments, in the daily routines, in the repeated actions that most people dismiss as insignificant. Reading a few pages of a book every day, exercising regularly, saving a small portion of your income, showing up on time, being disciplined with your work. All of these actions are the consistent deposits that build interest over time. They are the habits that compound quietly, steadily, invisibly, yet powerfully. Consider the life of someone who wakes up early every morning. They may not feel the difference on the first day or the first week, but over months and years, the accumulation of those extra hours gives them a tremendous advantage. They use those hours to study, to plan, to improve, to work on their skills, to reflect, and to create. While others sleep or drift through distractions, they are steadily adding value to themselves. Each morning is a deposit. Each day of consistent effort compounds. And one day they wake up and realize that their life has transformed, not because of one heroic action, but because of thousands of consistent actions repeated over time. Consistency also breeds trust in yourself and from others. When you are consistent in your actions, your words, and your habits, you demonstrate reliability and integrity. People notice, opportunities appear, and doors open. The world rewards those who show up consistently, even when they are not being watched, even when the rewards are delayed. On the other hand, inconsistency creates doubt, hesitation, and missed opportunities. It undermines confidence, both internally and externally. Your success is a reflection of your ability to consistently apply effort, to persist through challenges, and to stay committed even when results are not immediately visible. The beauty of consistency is that it magnifies the effects of every positive habit. A single workout may strengthen your body slightly, but working out consistently transforms your physique. Reading one page a day may add a small bit of knowledge, but reading consistently over years turns you into a well-informed, insightful, and capable person. Saving a little money now may seem insignificant, but consistent saving leads to financial security and freedom. Jim Rohn often said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." It is not complexity that creates greatness. It is the faithful repetition of simple, high-value actions that compounds into extraordinary results. Yet consistency is often tested by life. There will be days when you feel unmotivated, when challenges seem insurmountable, when circumstances threaten to distract or derail you. On these days, the true power of consistency reveals itself. Success is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It is about taking action even when results are not guaranteed. Every small step, every repeated effort, every habit maintained in the face of adversity is a deposit that compounds interest. Over time, these deposits accumulate into achievements, opportunities, and results that feel like they came from luck, but are really the natural outcome of persistence and consistency. Consistency is also a habit of character. It builds discipline, focus, and resilience. When you commit to a schedule, a goal, or a practice and follow through day after day, you strengthen your ability to control impulses, overcome distractions, and maintain long-term vision. You train your mind to value effort over immediate gratification, preparation over procrastination, and action over hesitation. This mental strength compounds just as much as your actions do. The person who is consistent is not just building external success. They are building a life of integrity, confidence, and inner power that can withstand any challenge. Remember, consistency does not mean doing everything perfectly. It means doing something consistently in the right direction. It is the repeated deposit, the faithful action, the unbroken rhythm of effort that grows wealth, health, knowledge, and influence over time. Even when progress seems invisible, even when results are delayed, the compounded effect is real, inevitable, and unstoppable. The world rewards those who persist, and the habit ledger of life will reflect every deposit you make through your consistent actions. Awareness is the cornerstone of managing your personal ledger of habits. Your life is a reflection of the habits you cultivate, the decisions you make, and the actions you repeat consistently. Yet, many people drift through life without realizing the true power of their choices. They allow unconscious patterns, distractions, and societal pressures to dictate their actions, and then they wonder why they are not achieving the results they desire. The truth is simple. Every action you take is either a deposit or a debit. Awareness is the ability to see that clearly, to track your habits, and to understand how your daily choices are shaping your future. Once you grasp this, you gain control over your destiny in a way few others do. Think about it. If you were to keep a detailed account of every habit, every decision, and every small action you perform each day, you would start to notice patterns. Some actions increase your balance. They enrich your life, expand your knowledge, build your character, strengthen relationships, or enhance your health. Others decrease it. They waste time, foster negativity, drain energy, or leave you stagnant. Awareness allows you to distinguish between these deposits and debits. It turns vague intentions into measurable actions. You begin to see your life not as a series of random events, but as the cumulative result of repeated choices. Once you become aware, the next step is choice. Awareness without action is like knowing there is water in a well but never drinking from it. Each day, you have countless opportunities to make conscious decisions, to invest in your growth, and to cultivate habits that pay dividends. You can choose to rise early, to read, to work diligently, to be kind, to exercise, to plan, or to save. Each of these choices is a deposit, a conscious act of investing in yourself. Conversely, you can choose distraction, procrastination, negativity, and indulgence. These are withdrawals, subtle but impactful. Awareness gives you the power to make these choices consciously, rather than reacting passively to circumstances. Awareness also magnifies accountability. When you begin tracking your habits and evaluating their impact, you cannot hide behind excuses. Your ledger becomes a mirror reflecting the truth of your actions. If you notice repeated debits, repeated patterns of inaction, or choices that undermine your goals, You can no longer claim ignorance. You are empowered to take corrective action. This is the moment where growth occurs, not through luck, talent, or circumstance, but through the conscious exercise of choice. By observing your behavior, acknowledging its impact, and adjusting accordingly, you gain mastery over your life in a way that is tangible, practical, and transformative. Consider the impact of small, deliberate adjustments. Perhaps you notice that scrolling social media for an hour in the evening is a withdrawal from your success account. Awareness allows you to replace that hour with reading a personal development book, practicing a skill, or planning your next day. The immediate effect may feel minimal, but the cumulative impact over weeks, months, and years is profound. Small, consistent deposits, guided by awareness, compound into achievements, habits, and a life trajectory that far exceeds what sporadic, uninformed effort can produce. The key is that awareness allows you to make these adjustments intentionally, turning passive habits into active investments. Awareness also strengthens your ability to resist temptation and delay gratification. The person who is conscious of their habit ledger recognizes that instant pleasures often come at the expense of long-term gains. A dessert may taste sweet now, but regular indulgence can harm health over time. A day spent watching TV may feel relaxing, but repeated days erode productivity and growth. Awareness illuminates the cost of these actions. When you see the debit clearly, you are better equipped to make a wiser choice, to invest in actions that create lasting value rather than fleeting satisfaction. Moreover, awareness fosters reflection, learning, and improvement. Life is not static, and neither is your ledger. By regularly reviewing your habits, your decisions, and their outcomes, you gain insight into what works, what doesn't, and where adjustments are needed. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom. It allows you to avoid repeating mistakes and to amplify successful actions. Awareness transforms your habits from unconscious routines into conscious strategies, and strategies lead to results. Ultimately, the power of awareness and choice lies in its ability to empower you to take control of your life. Your habits are the building blocks of your destiny, and the ledger does not lie. It reflects every deposit, every debit, every choice, and every habit. By cultivating awareness, you gain the power to see the truth of your life, the courage to make better choices, and the wisdom to invest consistently in yourself. Your future is not written by chance or luck. It is written by your daily decision. Each habit you cultivate, each action you repeat, and each choice you make is the ink with which you write the story of your life. Imagine for a moment that life hands you a ledger, an invisible book where every action, every decision, every habit is recorded. You open it and it's blank, it's empty, pristine, full of potential. The question is, what will you write in it? Will you make deposits that grow your life, your mind, your health, your relationships? Or will you allow withdrawals, small at first but insidious, to drain your potential and leave you wondering where the years went? The ledger does not lie. It does not make excuses. It does not take pity. It simply reflects your choices. I want you to hear this clearly. Every moment is a transaction. Every habit is a decision. Every day is an opportunity to deposit into your success account. And the magic of life is this. The deposits may feel small, almost invisible, but they compound over time. A single positive habit may not change your life today, but repeated consistently, it transforms your destiny. Jim Rohn used to say, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That wisdom applies directly to this ledger. You don't need shortcuts. You don't need miracles. You need awareness, choice, and consistency. The tools that turn ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. Picture yourself 5 years from now. If you continue on the path of unconscious habits, procrastination, and random actions, where will your ledger be? What will your balance reflect? Now imagine 5 years from now, if you begin today, if you make conscious deposits every single day, if you choose actions that grow you, if you invest in yourself relentlessly, the contrast is astonishing. One life is average, filled with excuses and missed opportunities. The other life is exceptional, built on small, repeated victories, habits that compound into confidence, skill, and success. You hold the pen. You write your story with every choice you make. Let me share a dialogue, a conversation you might have with yourself. I know I want success. I know I want to be better, to grow, to achieve, but I'm tired. I don't feel like it today. Maybe I'll wait until tomorrow. Listen carefully. This is the voice of the ledger warning you. It says, every day you delay is a withdrawal. Every day you hesitate is lost interest. And then imagine you respond, no. Today I will make my deposit. Today I will do what others won't. Today I will invest in myself, even if it's uncomfortable. Today I will act. That dialogue, repeated thousands of times, builds a life of extraordinary results. It is not dramatic. It is not flashy. It is faithful, deliberate, and consistent. Now imagine another dialogue, this time between your present self and your future self. Future me, I hope you are proud of the choices I made. And the future self answers, I am proud because you invested wisely. I am strong because you built habits even when no one was watching. I am successful because you understood that every action, no matter how small, matters. That is the power of awareness and choice. That is the power of the habit ledger. Your future self is waiting, and your actions today are the deposits that determine what kind of person you become, what kind of life you live, and what kind of legacy you leave behind. Let's bring it closer to home. Think about your relationships. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every moment you listen is a deposit into the ledger of human connection. Conversely, anger, neglect, or selfishness is a withdrawal. Think about your health. Every meal, every walk, every hour of rest is a deposit. Every indulgence, every skipped exercise, every moment of neglect is a withdrawal. Your career, your finances, your knowledge, your influence, each has its ledger. And the principle is the same. Awareness, choice, and consistency are the keys to ensuring that your balance grows rather than diminishes. I want you to leave here today with a mindset that Jim Rohn taught so passionately. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, but if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Every page in your ledger is an opportunity. Every habit, no matter how small, is an investment. You may not see the immediate results, but trust the process. Compound interest is invisible at first, but unstoppable over time. That's why the smallest disciplines, applied daily, outperform the grandest intentions left unexecuted. So, let me ask you right now, what will your ledger say tomorrow? What will it say a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Will it reflect growth, discipline, and self-mastery, or will it show hesitation, neglect, and lost opportunities? The ledger is impartial, unyielding, and powerful. It will tell the truth of your life without mercy or bias, but here's the beauty. You are the one writing it. You are the one who decides whether today is a deposit or a withdrawal. Take this moment, take this opportunity, and commit to awareness, to conscious choice, and to unwavering consistency. Every habit is a transaction. Every action is a building block. Every day is an opportunity. Don't wait for tomorrow, don't rely on luck, and don't settle for mediocrity. Invest in yourself, make your deposits, avoid the withdrawals, watch the interest grow. Your future self, your family, your dreams, they are all waiting for the results of your choices today. You have the pen, you have the power, and you have the opportunity. The ledger is yours. Write wisely, write boldly, and watch your life transform in ways you have only dreamed.